Sex before marriage is one of the most discussed, debated, and sometimes divisive topics in society. For centuries, cultures, religions, and communities around the world have placed strict rules on when sex is appropriate, often tying it to the institution of marriage. But in today's modern world, where individual freedom, personal choice, and evolving social norms play a much bigger role, the question, should sex be done before marriage, becomes far more complex. In this video, we're diving deep into the arguments, beliefs, and scientific perspectives surrounding this topic, helping you form your own educated opinion. To start, let's understand why this question is even relevant today. In many traditional societies, including South Asia, the Middle East, and parts of Africa, sex is strictly reserved for marriage. These views are usually influenced by religious doctrines, such as Islam, Christianity, Hinduism, or conservative cultural values that see virginity as a sign of purity. In such environments, having sex before marriage is considered immoral, shameful, or even sinful. These beliefs are often passed down through generations, shaping people's attitudes from a very young age. On the other hand, in many Western countries and urban societies around the world, premarital sex has become increasingly accepted. People often engage in relationships, live together, and explore sexual compatibility before deciding to marry. The shift in attitude can be credited to greater access to education, women's empowerment, liberal media, and more open conversations about sexuality and mental health. As a result, premarital sex is often seen as a normal part of adult relationships, rather than a moral failure. But morality aside, let's explore the arguments in favor of sex before marriage. One major reason many people support it is sexual compatibility. Just like emotional compatibility, physical connection is a vital part of a healthy relationship. Some argue that it's risky to marry someone without knowing if you are sexually compatible, as mismatched libidos, preferences, or intimacy issues could lead to long-term dissatisfaction, resentment, or even divorce. Engaging in sex before marriage can help couples understand each other better on a physical level and set realistic expectations. Another point is emotional maturity and exploration. For many, especially young adults, sex is a part of growing up and understanding their own bodies, preferences, and boundaries. It can help build confidence, strengthen communication, and develop emotional intelligence. Waiting until marriage might deny people the chance to learn what they want or need in a partner, which can later lead to disappointment or regret. Then there's the argument of freedom of choice. Supporters of premarital sex believe that adults should have the right to make their own decisions about their bodies. As long as it's consensual, safe, and respectful, they argue, it's no one else's business. In modern societies, the concept of bodily autonomy is central to human rights, and this includes the choice of when and with whom to have sex. But on the flip side, there are also strong arguments in favor of waiting until marriage. For many people, sex is not just a physical act, it carries deep emotional, psychological, and even spiritual meaning. Saving sex for marriage can make the experience more meaningful, intimate, and special. It becomes a symbol of trust, commitment, and lifelong connection. For people with religious beliefs, this choice is also a way to stay faithful to their values and feel closer to their spiritual path. Another reason some people choose to wait is the potential emotional consequences of casual or early sexual relationships. Not everyone is emotionally ready for sex, and jumping into it too soon can lead to feelings of guilt, confusion, or heartbreak, especially if the relationship ends bad. Some studies have shown that people who engage in sex very early in life, especially under peer pressure or without proper education, are more likely to experience regret or emotional distress. There's also the risk of unintended consequences, such as unplanned pregnancies or sexually transmitted infections, STIs. While condoms and contraceptives significantly reduce these risks, they are not 100% foolproof. In places where sex education is limited or access to healthcare is poor, these issues can have life-changing effects, especially for women. From a conservative point of view, waiting until marriage adds a layer of security, both emotionally and practically. Interestingly, many experts believe the decision shouldn't be about yes or no, but about how well-informed and emotionally ready someone is. Whether or not to have sex before marriage is a deeply personal choice. What matters more is that the choice is made consciously, not under pressure, fear, or ignorance. That's why sex education plays such a crucial role. When people are taught about consent, contraception, emotions, relationships, and respect, they are far more likely to make choices that are healthy and fulfilling. Let's also consider how gender plays a role in this conversation. In many cultures, there is a double standard. Men are often encouraged or excused for having premarital sex, while women are shamed or judged for the same behavior. This unfair treatment creates stigma and can cause long-term emotional damage. It's important to challenge such double standards and promote equality when discussing sexuality. Everyone, regardless of gender, deserves the same freedom and respect in making decisions about their bodies. Moreover, the rise of live-in relationships has added a new dimension to this discussion. Many couples prefer to live together before marriage to see if they are truly compatible, not just sexually, but also in terms of lifestyle, habits, values, and conflict resolution. In these cases, sex often becomes a natural part of the relationship. Critics argue that such arrangements weaken the institution of marriage, while supporters believe they can prevent future divorces by giving couples a realistic picture of life together. From a psychological standpoint, studies show mixed results. Some research suggests that couples who wait until marriage report higher levels of satisfaction and stability, especially when they share strong religious or cultural values. Other studies show that sexual compatibility and communication are stronger in couples who explored intimacy before marriage. What this tells us is that there's no one-size-fits-all answer. What works well for one couple might not work for another. So where do we go from here? The key takeaway is this: respect, consent, and self-awareness are the foundations of any healthy sexual decision. Whether you choose to wait until marriage or not, what matters is that the choice reflects your values, your emotional readiness, and your informed understanding of the consequences. If you're in a relationship, it's also essential to have open and honest conversations with your partner. Are you both on the same page about intimacy? Are you both ready? Do you understand each other's boundaries and expectations? Sex, when done with trust and communication, can strengthen a relationship, but when done out of pressure, confusion, or fear, it can do the opposite. To sum it up, should sex be done before marriage isn't a question with a simple yes or no. It's about understanding yourself, your values, your culture, and your readiness. It's about having the freedom to make choices while also respecting the choices of others. And it's about creating a world where sex is not a source of shame or fear, but one of connection, care, and mutual respect. So, what's your take on this topic? Do you think sex before marriage is acceptable in today's society? Or do you believe in waiting for that special commitment? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. If you found this video helpful or thought-provoking, make sure to give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss out on future content. Until next time, stay informed, stay respectful, and most importantly, stay true to yourself.